This I command. These are words from today's Holy Gospel in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Someone once said that Christianity is a wonderful idea. Too bad no one does it. Well, I have two things to say about that. First, they are right. Christianity is a wonderful idea. And second, they're wrong. There are some who do it. And they do it very well. Would that everyone did their Christian faith well. But there are some. And interesting enough, those few that are truly Christians are the support of the rest of us. They are holding the world together. Today's gospel, by the way, is the meat and potatoes of Christianity. It is the central idea of Jesus Christ. It is the plan for all civilization and for all humanity. In fact, in the last statement of today's gospel, Jesus says it all. This I command you, love one another. As we look at this gospel, we find that it talks about total love. The total love that a follower of Jesus Christ must have. But we have a problem with that today. I call it the Hallmark greeting card sickness. Not to be confused with the Hallmark photography school. Hallmark greeting cards, you know, the things you get at the drugstore. We throw the word love around so much. Love this, love that, love, love, love. We sing about love. It sounds trite, sentimental. The word love really has lost the meaning that it has. Like a Hallmark greeting card. Sweet and sentimental. Roses are red, violets are blue, I love you, yada, yada, yada. Well, it means nothing. It means nothing. But if we look carefully at what Jesus is saying, if we read the Bible completely, we find that the love that Jesus is talking about is far from sentimental or trite. It is this empowering love, together with the resurrection, that has made Christianity so strong a force in human history. Jesus is talking about a virulent, powerful love that can and has changed history. Jesus is talking about a total love that has the strength to destroy terrorists, despots, and dictators, and a total love that can and does build up civilizations. In fact, our civilization is based on the teaching of love that Jesus Christ gave us. Today's gospel commands us to love. The rest of the gospels teach us how to love. First of all, Jesus does not deal in generalities or poetic sentimentality. He is specific. He tells us to love even our enemies, and to love and forgive even those who do us harm. He even sets the example from the cross. There, bloodied and dying and tortured, he prays, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He makes an excuse for them in his love for them. Second, Jesus lays out a plan for Christian living. Jesus is teaching the love that is so totally positive, so totally unselfish, and so totally giving that poverty and hunger would cease to exist because the love of true Christians would not tolerate it. We are to feed the hungry, shelter the homeless, care for the sick, visit those in prison, comfort the grieving. That is the love that Jesus demands and commands. The love that Jesus teaches is practical and exalted at the same time. He tells us to take care of the poor and to have compassion on those who do us harm, to pray for those who hurt us. Jesus boldly tells us that his way of love goes beyond human expectation. He tells us that love is beyond a warm feeling in a convenient moment. We have to understand that. The love that Jesus is talking about is not a feeling, not an emotion. It is an active act of our will. Our feelings will come out if someone is lovable, cute, attractive, and so we love. That is a hallmark moment. That is not the love that Jesus teaches. Jesus is teaching us that love is beyond and above feelings. I must actively act on my will to love someone who may not be lovable. I must actively will to love someone who has hurt me. I must actively work with my will to love someone who is disgusting. That is the love that Jesus is teaching. Not feelings, not romance, not passion, but an active act of our will. He tells us that love is beyond that warm and feeling and convenient moment. He tells us that our love as Christians is work, and that work is lifelong and without end. And yet, he tells us that it is the only way to true peace, true happiness, here, now, and in the hereafter. He tells us that this holy work must be done with joy, which is the hallmark of his followers. To be a Christian is to love. Mother Teresa once said, holy living consists in doing God's work with a smile. A Christian who does not love is a contradiction in terms and a complete hypocrite. For a true follower of Jesus Christ, for a true Catholic, what matters is not how long we live, but how much we love. The bad news is, I can live to be 125 and still be a total failure if I neglect to follow Jesus in total love and forgiveness. The good news is that God has given us today, and maybe tomorrow, and maybe even the day after, to begin to love and forgive totally in strength and power. If I look at my life, and if I look at the past 66 years, did you know I was that? If I look at those years, I can say it was a waste of time if I did not love. If I did not actively will to love in every circumstance, in every condition, every individual totally, those 66 years would be a waste of time and a condemnation for me. That's the bad news. But the good news is, I have today. God has given me today to love, truly, totally, actively, perhaps even tomorrow, the day after. The same is true of you. If we did not love, that time is put towards our condemnation. But we have today, and so we can start. We can start now. We can start to love actively, truly, completely, totally. I suspect the first step would be to make sure we know what love is, to understand it, and then to do it. That is God's work. I may not have much time, so I better begin